Salam, shalom, all praises to the horizon, peace and wisdom. Wise Solid speaking. Of course, you guys see the title. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up as well. Visit the website wiseservant.org or upscaleknowledge.org. Check out the services I offer. Merchandise and magazines. Now, can I get a sound check so I can begin, please? If any of you guys don't mind, we can get this deep lesson going. I want to discuss Sapiens. Homo sapien. This is what a human is. Homo or hominid is your primates. Sapien. So this is a thing that I suppose you guys don't know. So I want to explain that. Peace and Wisdom R. Jr., Larry Johnson, K Flame, Cat Rena, Cat Rena J. Rob, and the good brother Joshua Hall, Jada Xavier. If y'all have any questions, y'all can ask. Now I want to say this before I begin. This wisdom is very important. When you're dealing with animals, primates, yeah, let's stick with primates, mammals. If you feed mammals, they'll serve you like their master. You can feed a bear, they'll follow you around. As long as you feed them, they'll serve you and do anything you say. It's just a primate or an animal thing. When you're dealing with black people, don't take offense. If you feed them, they'll serve you like their master. It's a part of their logic. So if you're from the neighborhoods, any black ghetto, they will portray someone if they eating with someone else. Think like 50 Cent and Ja Rule beef. I forget the black guy's name. Black Child or something? He had a conversation with 50 and he told him, can you like fall back? Because I'm eating with Ja Rule. Meaning, Ja Rule is feeding me, supplying a plate for me. Don't matter if I view him as real or not, but you need to fall back. You got 6'9". He feed the Bloods. They like animals in comparison to him, meaning they'll eat him alive. But they don't. They serve him. You see my point? Shotty and all them blood niggas is 20 times tougher than 6'9", and they're all together, and he's his own person. He feed them. You get my point? They'll turn on each other. They'll serve him. It doesn't matter how weak he is. Now, the point I'm making is this. Animals have a nature. And intellectual beings have a nature. And so, Be aware of your environment and where you fall in at. Because people are no different than primates. And then you'll have a few that are sapiens. And so I guess I should get into this video. Salam, shalom, peace and wisdom. Hopefully you guys are following so far. You have dolichocephalic, mesocephalic, and brachycephalic. This is the shapes of, heads. Brachycephalic is like primate headed. Primates don't have four heads. You get it? Their head kind of cuts off short. Mesocephalic, so this is like my head, your head. Then you have dolichocephalic. This is, your cone-headed, light bulb-headed, planet-headed. No, yeah, Beeroo-shaped headed. Nah, I'm just playing. But like a cone shape. I don't want you to think like, but think more like, this part of the head, kind of, you get it? Globe shape. Big pig in the blanket head, man. It's deep, cold-blooded, try and grasp. You have those three shapes of heads. Now, like I said, primates, they have brachycephalic. This is, we ain't no forehead really. If you look at like an ape or a monkey, their head kind of cut off right above the eyebrows, like the eyebrow ridge. It's kind of like their forehead. Mesocephalic, this is in between. This is like modern man headed. Meaning we would all technically fall in mesocephalic. Some of you guys have, light bulb heads. So you may be classified as dolichocephalic, but truly you're not. You just have a light bulb head. Now, before you get to modern day man or Homo sapien, you have your primates. This is your many different classifications of monkeys, apes. You get it? Then you have your erect primates. You could classify them as hominid. This is apes that, walk on two legs. Or primates that walk on two legs. We're not speaking of Homo sapien yet. We're speaking of brachycephalic headed beings. You get it? Eyebrow ridge. So some indigenous, uncontacted tribes, they still have that eyebrow ridge. They almost look like what we would classify as mentally disabled. You get it? Strange looking. And jaws funny. Kind of like the primate. Like I said, you have your erect standing primates or your hominids. This is man. So all your primates are man. We're not talking about Homo sapien, meaning y'all are not man, but we're going to get to that. You have man. This is all your primates, mainly your erect standing ones. We're not speaking about humans, but we're speaking about what you would have to classify as still ape or monkey. Then you have your dolichocephalic headed beings. This is your tall white or albino cone-headed sapiens. Your intellectuals. Of course, your primates are your hominid, your man, animal-like. Primate. Cone-headed white albinos, sapiens. They don't have the animal characteristics of your hominids or your primates. Meaning they're like deformed and handicapped, I guess you could say. You can call them seamen. Like I said before, semen. Inside semen, you have little cone-headed, little cone-headed things y'all call sperm. This level of life. So you have your seamen, men of the sea. These sapiens are like reptilian, not reptiles. Reptilian like aquatic and terrestrial, like a turtle, alligator. You get it? Your reptiles are like fish evolving into terrestrial creatures, but not being fully terrestrial yet. So they're like in between human or man or terrestrial creatures and your creatures of the waters, you know, your fish, your marine or aquatic creatures. Reptiles is like in between. That's what these sapiens are like. Man, that's like in between aquatic and reptilian. So they're like handicapped. Like like a turtle's aquatic and terrestrial. But in terms of all the terrestrial animals, a turtle's like handicapped. You know, walk all slow. You get it? Yeah. Like that. Like not fully built for the terrain, but whatever. Deep thinkers, though. This is what most people don't know. The animals in the water, meaning your aquatic creatures, are more intellectual than your terrestrial, meaning the animals in the water are more smarter than all of us on land. And they just don't have you know the physical means to do what we would classify as wise. You're dealing with man, building a building. Dumb stuff is wise to him, but so it is. You get my point? So, but in terms of awareness, so terrestrial animals are not that aware, meaning animals of the terrain, they're not that aware. Like animals of the water, they're more aware. This means, you get it? The intellect is at a greater level. Now, you have your Anunnaki, your pharaohs of old, I mean your first. These are all your cone-headed white sapien deity that I was speaking about, your intellectuals. They're referred to as gods. These is your Osirises. Osiris is plural. Asar or Osir. This is like singular. You get my point? Well, maybe y'all don't, but try and grasp. Those deity, meaning your Anunnaki gods, are the pharaohs that y'all hear of. If you look at the images of them, you're going to realize they have cone-shaped heads or hats. These are your ancient albino cone-headed deities of old that y'all read about, that's referred to as gods or aliens that came. These cone-headed deity mix and merge in with your erect primates, creating Homo sapien, of course a homo or a hominid, it's your primates, or your man. Primates is technically your man. Then you have your sapiens, cone-headed white albino gods, or sapiens. So the mix and immersion of these two is how you get Homo sapien or demigod. This is your Masadi cephalic headed, meaning we don't have cone heads and we don't have cut off heads, like, primate headed, eyebrow ridge and all that strange stuff. We don't have that. Now, like I said, if you look at the ancient pharaohs, the Anunnaki gods, you'll notice they have like cone headed hats, cone shaped heads. This is the same with the Vikings. They had the cone shaped Viking hats. Of course, they was white. But I'm speaking of way before their time. These is their ancestors. Everybody's ancestors, I guess you can say. Now, here's the interesting part before I go deep. You have as above, so below. This is to say, like, cell to organism. Organism being the macro, cell being the micro, the below to the above. Like organism to star, as above, so below. So within, as without. To say, like, what's within is the same you see without. Now, when you're dealing with a forming life, meaning a sperm cell getting an egg cell, this is spirit getting body, and then these two things forming together to create what y'all know as a person. That person or the body of that person is a whole world for all the cellular or smaller level of life within it. Our star system is no different. A forming person on its level of life. And so, in the beginnings of a forming star system, you're going to have your sperm cell or your cone-headed gods come. This is where y'all get those ancient stories of Pharaohs and Anunnaki. And they're always depicted with cone heads in white. That's what it's explaining. Meaning, sperm cells are micro to y'all, egg cell is too. Y'all will never be able to grasp that beyond what y'all see through technology. On a larger level of life, so we are that here. You get it? If you're lost, you started as a sperm cell that got an egg. You're not a cell anymore. You're an organism. You get my point? But so it started that way. Like that. In the beginning of our world or star system, you had your cone-headed albinos come, mixing and merging in with your primates of Earth. Earth being an egg cell. So think like an egg cell getting conceived by a sperm cell. Within that sperm cell, you have gamete, the chromosomes, your 23, which is going to mix and merge in with the 23 of the egg cell. View those as like primate and sapiens, mixing and merging. Lower Egypt mixing and merging in with Upper Egypt. And from there you get your dynasties. You get it? Meaning this life that we live is biological. In the beginnings, Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt has to merge. Just like in the beginnings, the chromosomes have to merge. Y'all are living. Life is a funny trick. That stupid science that y'all learn is y'all. Meaning, sperm cells getting egg cells is the whole existence that we live. Literally. I'm trying to figure out how to put it in words. It's hard for people to grasp this. Like, that we live inside of a body. Like a person. Say, nah, I'm a person. That makes no sense. You was born out of a person. Meaning you was a cell in your mother's belly all that time till you was born out of it as an organism. So then I guess that's pseudo. Because that's what y'all was say. 'Cause I was talking pseudo, man. You say we live in the body. Okay, blood. Well, then explain that. Because if what I just said is pseudo, then that means real life that's a part of your being is pseudo. Meaning you was a cell, you can't deny that. That's a whole nother level of life that we use microscope to look at. You was a part of that realm in reality of life to ascend up to a higher level that we call organism. Meaning your mother's body and your father's body was a whole universe, our world to you until you became what they are, organism. And so I'll say again, we live inside of a body. When a body first starts forming, so it starts with your cone-headed sperm cell, or on our level of life, cone-headed semen, men of the sea, your colonizers. These is your first colonizers. This is why white people like to colonize. It's in the nature. It started in the beginnings. Like sperm cells colonize egg cells. That's a whole world. Then from there, sperm cells are your germ cells. They create a germ cell line, meaning they start to mix and merge in with the rest of the cells in the body. When they're doing that, though, they're migrating around that egg cell to do that. We're speaking, microscopic level of life. As that's happening, the body, our egg cell, is transforming and developing into a baby, our body, while all of this is transpiring inside. On our level of life, exactly the same reality. Meaning our world started just like that. Whatever you view sperm cell are, that's what happened. If you can see a sperm cell and it's your size, and you can see it perfectly like for what it is, so it'll look like how y'all see like the ancient pharaohs look, with those stupid things on their head and like godly like. If you look up a sperm cells have a hat, cone shaped, strange. It's called a acrosome. It's like a living hat. It falls past the shoulders. The same way you see the Egyptian, it looked like a do-rag. Sperm cell got the same exact hat as a pharaoh. That part. Meaning on a microscopic level, y'all are looking at pharaohs that start worlds. You say, how can a pharaoh start a world? Sperm cells get egg cells, they start whole bodies. Whole world. So it's a deep life y'all live in. Y'all might want to. It's a deep thing. You have to be humble. Otherwise, the micro life is nothing. Then you nothing. You get my point? So like in my past life, you was a cell. Organism is bigger than the cell, so I suppose you wouldn't remember cell time. Small. You get my point? Cell time is too small in comparison to like our time. One of our seconds is like a whole lifetime for a cell. Just 1 second. You don't hold memory in seconds. It's too small. I tell me every second, you don't remember that. You remember like whatever you remember yesterday. Whatever you forgot, so charge it up to seconds. It was too small for you to remember like that. Are y'all following? Salam Shalom. Peace and wisdom, Carlos Quinones. Go reacts. Are y'all following? Peace and wisdom, Osaya. Who's Osaya? My name's Big Usia. The OOSEEO. Big Usia. Like Osiris is plural. Osir is singular. Asar is singular. Big Usia. You get it? Shalom, shalom. Okay, y'all follow. This is a good thing. Marcel Salvago, I know you follow. When these cone-headed Pharaohs or Anunnaki come, and they mix and merge in with your brachycephalic headed or your primates, erect ones. Like the story says in the Enuma Elish, the Anuna mixed and merged their genes in with monkey, basically. Ape-like man. Speaking of your hominids, your erect primates. This is how you get what's known as a demigod or Homo sapien. Because these cone-headed albinos are sapiens, intellectual creatures. Not like primates are, hominids, where they more animal-like. You get my point? So now we're a mixing of the two. Sapiens, primates. Meaning if you're a human, that's what that is to say. You're like a sapien and a primate. You have the intellect of a sapien. This is your cone-head white albino, and then you have the natures of a primate. Get my point? Now the sapiens, we live in a life of status and rank, so y'all don't have no dealings with the sapiens, cone-head white albinos. I'm sure they're still around, but y'all don't have no dealings with them. Well, y'all do. It's not important. Y'all do though, but you still have your primates. Now the point I'm making is this. This is how you get your demigods, from the mixing and merging of those two. Cone-headed albinos, primates. Now when you hear like the Native Americans having stories about tall red-headed giants, basically your Vikings, coming to their area. Your Vikings is coming from the north. They coneheads. They got the Viking cone-headed with the horns on it. Coneheads. Only make your hat cone shaped if you got a cone head. We make our hats round in shape because our heads are round. So think of a baseball cap. I don't have cone-shaped baseball caps because nobody has a cone-shaped head. That would be stupid. I know some of y'all slow. Y'all say, no, they just wore hats and crowns like that. No one does that. That's dumb. You make the thing according to the shape of your head. If I make a crown, it's going to be round. It's not going to be cone and strange shaped. It's going to be the shape of my head. If they're wearing cone-shaped crowns or hats, that part, have cone-shaped heads. Don't think like, that part of the head. Just kind of being egghead motherfuckers without the bottom part being like an egg. So they got a head though. I don't want y'all to think strangely where you like, get some juice. I don't want you to think strangely though where you like, just think like the half-retarded kid in your class. When you was younger, he had like an egghead. That's a side check probably. Like that. Meaning, what y'all know as Vikings that was coming here, back in Leif Erikson time, these is your I guess you can say the descendants of these sapiens I'm speaking of, your cone-headed albinos. But of course, your Vikings, they're Homo sapiens, meaning they're no different than we are now. but they still hold. Some of y'all still got cone-shaped heads. You get my point? Meaning it's still there. Some of our heads is a little cone-shaped. Some of our heads is a little. Some of you motherfuckers still primate headed. Some of y'all forehead this big. Damn, that got a monkey head. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Some of y'all monkey headed. Your forehead hella short. You ain't that smart. Your shoulders is broad and you ain't that smart. But you a monkey. Nigga, you a monkey. I'm just playing. Damn, they gonna put more restrictions on my. They gonna put some more restrictions on my chin for that shit. Can I get some give backs? I'm in here. Yeah, don't worry about the give backs. Here's what I'd rather do this. The same way like Christians have churches, Muslims have churches. Go there if you want to learn, become a member of the church, live the way in the life of the church or whatever the case may be, and you get me? I'm going to do the same. Whoever wants to be a wise servant, I'll teach, you. I'm already writing a little small understanding of what a wise servant is, because a lot of you guys ask me, like, what is that? So like the same way religious people have their ways, I have my ways, meaning I have my day-to-day way I do what I do. So a Muslim pray 5 times a day. I do my prayer at sunset. This is when the day ends. I don't pray, but I give thanks for the day. You get my point? Same way you wake up. Well, I wake up. I give thanks for making it through the abyss of the night. Like I said, I give thanks for when the abyss will turn on the outer. You get my point? Y'all ain't got to make it through the night. The unconscious space of y'all minds, y'all can kind of like just die there. Y'all wouldn't know. You get my point? When y'all fall into unconscious sleep. So when you wake up, you want to give thanks to the force. And so when you see the sunset, and this is like the outer abyss, before you go into your inner, you get to see all the things that bump in the night. But like I said, the sunrise, sunset, I give, thanks for that. I observe or celebrate the full moons. Not all of them. Well, I do all of them, but 4 main specific ones for the seasons, like winter, spring, summer, and fall. It's a lot, but like I said, I'm going to teach whoever's a wise servant, meaning like I said, same way Christianity got their church, you go there, learn, you support there. All this sloppy shit, y'all coming in here, no balance. To learn from, everybody got to learn from their path. So, I'm going to teach whoever's a wise servant. I'll come back and come back and let y'all know how y'all can sign up or whatever the case may be. I'll send y'all all little books so y'all can kind of skim through it and see exactly, what I do. Like I always say in the past, I'm a wise servant of life. This has to do with nature. I'm a servant of nature. But don't confuse me with like your naturist, your survivalist. They be out in nature and have survivalist skills, and you get it? I don't got nothing to do with that. Not to say it's anything wrong with that. Nothing to do with those that just dwindle around in the forest. Nothing to do with that. Not saying anything's wrong with that either. I'm a servant of nature. That's to say, nature is not a place. It's the actions and expressions of life. You get me? Meaning life has a nature. Actions, expressions that we see all around us. Those actions and expressions are the nature of what is unseen. You get it? Like in Christianity or in religion, y'all worship invisible God. I don't worship invisible God. I worship the actions of what can't be seen. You get it? So all that's transpiring around us in nature, these is laws. Laws of the unseen. The actions and expressions of what y'all can't see. Not to say it's unseen, y'all just can't see it. And so you get my point? Those actions and expressions of nature are laws that I follow. So you follow those laws, you flow with nature. You don't, you become a resistance to the nature of life. And so we all know the natures of life, the wrath of life. I don't think nobody can oppose that. And so most people have hardship because of that. Their resistance to nature, the flow of it. So, meaning there's no punishment, nothing like that. If you want to resist nature, you want to resist what is powerful. So good luck. Enjoy your life. Be a rough life for you, but so this is how life works. So kind of grasp. I like what you said about the birthday Coneheads. Everything everybody does is to worship those ancient gods, the Coneheaded ones. But most of y'all lost into whatever things y'all are. Not gonna really grasp none of this. Judgment Day, all these things is real, but you have to grasp. And so, like I said, whoever wants to be a wise servant, I'll just teach y'all. You know, the rest of y'all come around when y'all do. Two kinds. You can be like a servant scholar or a wisdom warrior. That's like meditation, yogas. I know I can flip and do different weird things that I never really show people. It's just my own little thing I do. But your ninja stuff, you know, meditations, understanding, you know, yoga, breathing, angles, you know, your points. When I be doing 52 or whatever y'all want to call it, y'all think I'm just doing like, no, this is a point and that's a point. You get it? Your points. I can block like that and then go like that. Or I can block like that. You see the difference? Knowing that's going to take longer than just bringing it there. It's like an illusion. You get it? It's not like what y'all think. Just slapping the arms. They don't know the math. If you know the math, then it looks like magic almost. You get my point? When I'm like that, and then coming near like that, and drop it, I'm sitting down so I can't really do it. It's like an illusion. Confuses you. If it's done right. Almost like a butterfly. You get it? I could switch. Like that. Some of y'all don't realize it, but I'm not here no more. This side is here, and that side's there. You get it? Now I could switch. You have to know your points. You get it? Like that. It's a science. And if you do it right, it's a deep thing trying to rise. But I'll come back and let y'all know. Y'all want to join, y'all can. But y'all can't keep coming in the imbalance. This is just not healthy. Now, if any of y'all have questions before I depart, y'all can ask. Thank you, Trisha, for the give back. Peace and wisdom, indoor tundra. I don't mind teaching. If I teach you how to be a mechanic, so at some point you have to be one, you know, like do the work. I teach balance, honor, things like this. At some point, y'all have to get my point. Y'all can't just come in here like that. This is not entertainment. I might be entertaining. This ain't entertainment. It's deep wisdom. Trying grass. Ra, Sean, Yokananam. Peace and wisdom. Names is important, like I said in the past. Apply some of them things so y'all don't afflict yourselves. Y'all be having names y'all don't even know what they mean. They be meaning death. When you're dealing with the ancients, most of them worship death. Or what y'all would call death. You got death and life. You have awake and unconscious. These two things correlate. They're one and the same. Micro to macro, like I always say. Awaking and falling into unconscious sleep is no different than being alive and then dead. Alive and dead is just longer than a day. A day is a small year, meaning within the day you have your 4 times of it: morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Within a year, which is a bigger day, you have your 4 times within it: spring, summer, fall, and winter. This is no different than morning, afternoon, evening, and night. You get it? Hopefully y'all grasp. A whole life is no different than a year. Micro to macro, on and on. So the same way within a day, you're awake for the day, then you fall into your abyss or your nothingness, your death, your unconsciousness. So it's the same in life. You're alive, and then you fall into your death unconsciousness. In the past, a lot of the ancients worshipped the black light, the death, the unconscious mind. Others worshipped the light, the awake, the life. So this is the duality in life. This is the battle. Like, which one is the light for real? The unconscious mind that you awaken from. Look at that. I say that's like the source. That's like the true light. All is the awake, the light. You get it? So this is like your day, night, life, death, your light, your darkness. Both being just one, though. But like I said, when you're dealing with a lot of the ancients, so they worshipped the unconscious mind that the conscious mind blossoms from. So when you're dealing with ancient Egyptian netta, all the netta got to do with death. Anubis is way in our heart, and so on and so forth. It got to do with the afterlife or the before life. It got to do with the death. Their names as well. Same with Jesus and Christianity. Got to do with death. I worship the sacrifice of or the killing of the death. You get my point? Meaning I worship death, the devil, and hell and Hades, flames. I don't know why I like bothering y'all. Shit's funny. I gotta stop it though. Try to grasp the silver shadow. Salam, shalom. Try to talk English, please. So my regular name is Ray Sean. I Google it. And that pop up. Please, I mean. So slow, you make niggas scratch his neck. You know when you get a headache? Y'all like that. So I don't get paid enough for this shit, cowboy. Oh shit. Oh shit. Now what? What's that? It don't even matter what y'all talking about. So you have the unconscious mind. So you have death and life. Unconscious mind and awake mind. Like I said, the universe is a body. The star system we live in, it's a body. The whole existence is a vessel, developing body. When you're dealing with the dark and light, unconscious mind and awakened mind, we're the life in between the two. Meaning, in between awake and sleep is y'all. So y'all get flame flopped in between the two. One is going to win over you though. Like, you get my point? So y'all go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, wake up. This happens for y'all whole existence, but y'all never question it. To say like that's stupid, why I gotta keep. So it's a sign, like it's a joke. Like what you gonna land on? Awake or not? So this is everybody's future. As a mind, you're gonna end up on what you know as unconsciousness, where you don't even exist to your own self. You know, blackness, darkness, are awake in awareness eternally. Eternal for the other side. Do y'all follow what I'm saying? Because this is with y'all. Meaning y'all like to get lost and say stupid shit like that's pseudo. You gotta awake and sleep with you right now. You gonna fall into unconsciousness tonight. If now when y'all fall into unconscious sleep, sometimes the mind is still aware, meaning y'all have dreams. So this is all lessons from the creator, but y'all too blinded from this self to grasp. Meaning when y'all have a dream, all you have is awakened unconsciousness. But when y'all have a dream, this is the life showing you. You can have more when you die. Meaning when you fall into unconscious sleep, which is nothing, that don't necessarily have to happen. You can get a gift. You don't have to lose your awareness. Or sometimes you fall into unconsciousness and lose complete awareness. Then you wake up. Oh shit, how long was I asleep? The same way I said a day is like a micro year and a year is like micro existence, like that. When we all die, some of y'all as minds, so grasp. Some of y'all have, like I said, y'all go into unconscious and awake like a light switch every day. Y'all like light switches. Y'all get turned off, turned on, turned off, turned on. One or the other is gonna be for you. Meaning off or on is what you're gonna be stuck with. And that's gonna be determined if you can figure out, you get it, what you need to. A lot of things I'll be trying to explain to y'all. So y'all don't have to get lost into book gods and devils. Like I said, I'm a servant of nature. Life has a nature. You know, the actions and expressions of nature is the law or words of the unseen creator. I follow that. I know that. And so y'all can get lost in God y'all read about, or y'all can just focus on the two gods that's within self. This being you having awareness and your ass being dead, unconscious. It's a deep thing. Try to grasp. The one y'all have, meaning unconsciousness. I'm not telling you that's death, and I'm not telling you awake is. Y'all have to have wisdom to know. But after you finish with that, meaning once you come to a conclusion of which one is God, our true God, unconsciousness or awake, life or death, then we can discuss like that's just the duality of one side, and then you have the other side. So what y'all call unconsciousness is just the birth of the mind. Before you get a spirit in the body, so the mind has to be created. The mind starts unconscious, dark. The mind is black. It develops or grows into an awareness. You get it? Between unconscious and awareness is the measure of this mind, the dimensions of it. Are y'all following? It wouldn't matter, like I said. If you want to be a wise servant, then reach out. Salam, shalom.